Hey, this video is all about the kind of content that Google hates if you're a SaaS company. So what are we going to be learning today? The biggest mistake SaaS companies make with their SEO content marketing. And what I'm about to teach you is the direction that Google is headed with content. And to be honest, they've already gone this direction. I'm going to prove it to you in this video. So I'm going to show you what type of content to avoid if you're a SaaS company. And I'm going to be showing you how to adhere to this with a strategic step-by-step example to overcome this issue quickly every single time. So with that said, let's get right into it. All right, so in order to understand what I'm about to teach you, you must first understand this. You have to understand what Google tracks with the web pages that are ranking at the top of the search engines. Now, bear with me. This is not what you think. This is not if you're a SaaS company, you shouldn't create content that delivers poor user experience and people hit the back button. And so you have to improve your user experience and focus on conversion rate optimization. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about specific types of content that Google hates if you're a SaaS company. And to be quite honest, this applies to any industry. But if you're a SaaS company relying heavily on top of the funnel keywords to drive awareness and drive people down the buyer intent funnel, this is especially crucial for your business operations so you can drive more business revenue online. All right, so now that I've gotten all that out of the way, Google tracks performance metrics. For instance, like how a visitor behaves on a site. More importantly, note for this lesson is how visitors behave on a site that they found on Google. Do they immediately hit the back button? Do they stay on the site longer than others? Do they interact with the page longer? All of these factors are crucial for you to understand because Google tracks all of this and collects the data into a pretty handy tool that you guys are probably familiar with, Google Analytics. Well, guess what? They're not just collecting that data for your benefit. They're also using this for their algorithm to determine which websites they need to rank. But not only that, they're using this data to better understand what types of content they need to rank at the top of the search engine. They need to understand what the intent is behind every single keyword. And they need to be able to do this automatically because let's face it, how many searches a day, billions of searches a day in Google alone, they don't have the manpower. So they need an algorithm to be able to determine, okay, if someone types in this keyword, then we need to deliver content that reflects that intent behind that specific keyword. They need to do this automatically. So using data they collect through performance metrics is the best way to do that. And I'm going to prove that to you in just a minute. But first, I want to explain a few more points so you can fully understand and grasp this concept. So like I said in the previous slide, they use data. Google lets the massive amount of searchers on the internet tell them what's popular. So yes, backlinks are considered votes. Everyone knows that, but it's just a rite of passage. Google will send some traffic to the page by ranking it. And if it performs well with its users, it has a better chance of staying at the top. Why do you think sometimes when you build links, you get a big jump and spike in traffic and then it immediately drops again? That's not on accident. They call it the Google dance in the SEO world. But what people fail to realize is that Google is trying to send traffic to that web page and see how web users and web visitors are interacting with that site. So therefore, the type of content and the theme of content ranking for keywords is what the searchers are looking for. What I mean by that is Google's realized that over time, for every single keyword out there, and they've already done this and implemented this into their search engines, when someone types in a certain keyword, you're going to see a common type of content ranking at the top. And that common type of content best serves the searchers because it solves the intent behind what they're searching. And they're doing this already. They're good at their job. So what does this mean? It means you need to trust Google. They're really good at what they do, just like I said. For instance, an example would be real estate CRM. So this is a high buyer intent keyword, right? But you're not going to see a lot of sales pages for real estate CRM ranking at the top, even if you have a powerful website. And the reason why is because when people are searching for real estate CRM, Google has determined and realized that it serves their searcher base better when they're searching that keyword term if they actually have a side-to-side comparison. Really think about it. Put yourself in a searcher's shoes. If you're looking for real estate CRM, you're not looking for a brand name. So you're not trying to be sold on a specific company and trying to learn more information about a specific company through a sales page. You want to know about a lot of real estate CRMs. And so by showing websites that have a side-by-side comparison or the top 10 real estate CRMs in 2020, what that does is it's giving the searchers what they want. It's solving their intent. The reason why Google is ranking all of those types of web pages for this keyword term is because that's what people gravitate towards. That's the kind of content that people stay on the page longer for. They interact with the page more, as opposed to a sales page that just is designed to sell a specific company real estate CRM. All right, so how do you benefit from this information if you're a SaaS company? So you have to understand, think of it like a card game. Google shows their 10 best hands. They're already ranking the content that best solves searchers' intent. So before you create your content, you need to look at what's ranking for the keywords you want to go after. Look at the type of content ranking. Look at the theme of content ranking. I'm going to explain what each of those two are right now. All right, so the common types of content. So there could be countless different types of content that dominate the search for any given keyword term. For instance, a type of content could be blog posts or long guides, infographics, listicles, local landing pages, Amazon pages, videos, podcasts, resource guides, product page, service page, or product category page. Each type of content is best suited to solve a specific searcher's intent. And so when you look at a specific search query and you're looking at the top 10 results and you see a common type of content ranking, that is a very good indicator that you're going to want to create content that reflects that type of content as well to boost your chances to rank higher in the search engines. So I know I haven't explained what the theme of content is yet, and I'm going to actually demonstrate it live while showing you just how easy it is when you're doing research and preparing for a content marketing campaign while adhering to the best practices of SEO moving forward from 2020 and on. So you're probably familiar with this slide if you've watched the previous video. It was informational content versus transactional content, where I show the buyer intent all the way from attention, awareness, discover, consider, all the way down to customer phase of the buyer intent funnel, and how these top areas, the top of the funnel keywords, are going to be geared towards more informational type content. Notice I said type of content, how-to guides, how to increase sales volume. It would be tips and tricks, how-to guides, sales pipeline strategies, reflect more along the informational type of content. And then you get into the middle, a sales pipeline tracker, and then you go down to consider and customer. So this, for instance, right here, best CRM for sales or HubSpot CRM, they're in the consider phase. They know that you offer a product or service that solves their problem at this point. And so when they type in keyword terms like this and you're trying to rank for a keyword term like this, you're going to want to show content that's actually geared towards solving their intent, which is to educate them on why they should buy from you versus their competitor. That would be the appropriate content to try to rank for that specific keyword, and Google knows this. So that would be the time to create a sales page as an example. So for the purposes of this video, to explain the process of how we think and how we can plan our SEO content marketing in advance so you can be geared towards success, I'm going to demonstrate the discover phase. They've discovered, or at least when they're on this piece of content, they're going to discover that you offer this type of service. So sales pipeline tracker. Now notice I picked this because it's kind of in the middle. It's not really informational and it's not really transactional. It's kind of in the middle. And you're going to understand why I chose this keyword in just 1 minute. So let's hop right into the live example. All right, so sales pipeline tracker. So let's look at the first one, HubSpot.com. Sales pipeline tracker is what they're optimized for. So you go in here and look at this. This is essentially a landing page right here. Look at this. Sales pipeline tracker. I'm ready to download a prospect tracking revenue forecasting template, right? This is not an informational how-to kind of thing, right? So it's a mix and match. You're going to find, and I'm going to show you, because we're in the middle of the sales funnel right here, you're going to find the middle of informational and transactional type content. And it's not by accident. So as you can see here, it's kind of salesy. Look, the sales pipeline tracker offers you a prospect organizational template, blah, blah, blah. Get a sneak preview. You know, this is very salesy, right? Because it is in the middle. But you have to understand, this is a freemium version of one of their products, essentially. And so what they're leading on is it's a sales pipeline tracker, including a prospecting tracking template, again, right? But look at this, it is free. So this is kind of like a landing page. It's like a lead magnet designed to collect information from users, and in return, they get a sales pipeline tracker and a template, right? Now let's look at the second result. Sales pipeline management 101, stages, management, and tips. So we go down. I already actually went through this, but look at this. Template. Look, they mentioned template 9 times. So already you're getting a clue as to what the theme of the content people gravitate towards the most. When people are searching for a sales pipeline tracker, even if they don't know that they're looking for a template, if they're introduced to types of content on the web that give them access to a template, all of a sudden light bulbs go off in their head and they go, ooh, yeah, I want that. That's what I'm looking for when I type in sales pipeline tracker. I'm looking for a sales pipeline template, right? And so HubSpot does a great job because it's a lead magnet. They know that people are looking for a template when people are searching for a sales pipeline tracker. And so what they're doing is they're generating a lead, they're giving the template, and then they're putting their sales funnel where they can actually upsell them on their sales pipeline tracker software, right? Makes sense? So let's look at this one. And look at this sales smart sheet, right? This one actually has it in the headline, templates, free templates. And if you look at this, free sales pipeline templates. This isn't the actual title. And this is actually how I got the clue, because And this is just a tip. When you're looking for the themes of content that are ranking most commonly, first I start with the URL, and then the next thing I go to is the title. And so I saw templates, and the URL here, and the URL here. And then I go down, free Excel template, as you can see, template right here. So office templates right here. So as you can see, it's very obvious Google is ranking a lot of content that the theme of the content is they're offering templates for sales pipeline trackers. And before we get any further, I want to also mention another thing. When you're typing in a keyword like this, look what happened. Videos showed up, images showed up. So it would be important for you to optimize for images. Use SEO best practices to optimize for your images. I would also create a video. Videos are more likely to rank for this keyword term because they're showing it right now. Obviously, you're not going to see this for every single search query on the web, along with images as well. But I can't stress enough, to drive the point home how important it is. Look, smartsheet.com, they're ranking twice for the same keyword. And it's because they're giving information out, right? So there's a mix. It's a lead magnet, right? Because it's in the middle of the buyer intent funnel. But they also do this. What is a sales pipeline? What is sales pipeline management? So they're doing an informational type guide, but they're also offering a template. Get started with the sales pipeline template. Look, you go down here, boom, it's right there, right? So they're doing the best of both worlds. And I would say, if I had to choose, I wouldn't go for a lead magnet like HubSpot. I would actually go for an informational how-to type of guide explaining what a sales pipeline tracker is and giving out useful information that can educate the visitors, but then also offering a template and making sure that you're optimizing your titles with the keyword term template along with sales pipeline. Another example, Excel templates, 12 free sales Excel templates. This is what the people want, and Google knows that. Sales pipeline tracker template. You get the point. And one more important thing I wanted to point out. Now look at this. Oh, well, everyone's already ranking for this keyword term because they have a DR of 86, and HubSpot has a DR of 92, I believe. Yeah, 92, right? No, wrong again. Look at this. And this is how you can find low-hanging fruit. Not necessarily because of the very nature of the keyword term, there's low-hanging fruit, but if you just know how to optimize your page correctly and give Google what they want, then you're going to go far. Look at this. Zara.com, they got a domain rating of 24, and they're ranking above a domain rating of 80, domain rating of 82. But look even further. Oh, well, maybe they have a lot of pages pointing specifically to that link. Wrong again. Referring domains to the page, 10. Referring domains to this page, which has a higher DR, 73. So for all intent and purposes, if you're thinking that a powerful website is all that's needed to succeed online, then you're wrong, because Zara.com right here is showing you that you don't need a super powerful website to rank in the DR 80 and 90 range for a keyword term like this. Furthermore, on-page SEO isn't just about title tags and just put X amount of keywords in the content anymore. It's about being smart and understanding the intent behind each keyword that is searched and how Google interprets that intent behind each search query. So all that you have to do at that point is reflect in your content the certain types of content, which in this case would be, on average, informational, how-to, educational type content that's more long form, but also include giving out templates for a sales pipeline tracker. Now, before I wrap this video up, I wanted to give an example of our process of how we would actually prepare for our SEO content marketing campaign for a SaaS company that, let's say, has 2,000 to 5,000 web pages. They've got an insane amount of content. Only a percentage of that content is actually driving the bulk of the traffic. There's a lot of potential for your content marketing with your existing pages if you know what to look for. So if you've already watched some of my previous videos, you might be vaguely familiar with my website quality audit. But essentially what we do is we crawl all the web pages into a centralized Google Sheet, and we aggregate data across the board on a URL by URL level, pulling data from SEMrush, Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Ahrefs to get the link count, Screaming Frog for the on-page type of stuff. What we get at the end is a clear picture of which pages are not performing as well, but have the potential to perform well. And the biggest indicator is looking at data from SEMrush in this case. For instance, looking at the main keyword. The main keyword is a keyword term that gets the most search volume. It's the main keyword that you want to go after. And then, of course, you get the volume, and then you get the ranking. Now, let's say we're at the bottom of the first page, or top of the second page, or top of the third page. At this point, Google is saying, yeah, you're optimized for that keyword, but you still need some Google love. And so what we would do is we would spot those keywords very quickly on the bottom of the first page, second page, and then the third page among thousands of URLs, we can go ahead and using Google Sheets, you can filter that out and quickly spot those pages that have potential. And then what we do is when we're done with all of this, when we do an actual complete website quality audit, we're going to give action items for every single URL, like leave as is, update on page, target with links, 301 redirect, canonicalize, block crawl, and no index page. This stuff right here is more so along the lines of increasing your website quality score, improving your crawl rate, that kind of stuff. It's more technical SEO stuff for larger SaaS companies. But let's say you have 5,000 web pages and you're creating a lot of content, but you're not really seeing the needle move like you would hoped. For all the pages that we would deem as needing update on page, what we would do is we would filter all of these out and only show URLs that say update on page. And then we would just go ahead and copy all the data we see here and transfer it over to our sheet, our keyword research existing pages sheet. We would go ahead and paste all the information here. It would fill all the information here, like the main keyword, the volume, what's ranking. And then what we would do, obviously, it would be update on page, right? So we're only focused on URLs that need update on page because, again, they've got enough power to their site. They're getting some love, but you just know that if you just made a few tweaks here and there, you would be able to get a big bump in rankings and a boost in organic traffic if you did it for all of those specific page URLs in total. So this is how we stay organized. And this is the important part right here. We look at each of the main keywords, right? See, look, first Google result for main keyword. Because again, we pull that data in right here. We look at the main keyword, we have someone type it into Google. And what they do is they go and they say, okay, this keyword is in the customer journey stage of the buyer intent funnel right here, right? We're mapping out the intent behind the keywords, at least our best guess at this point. The customer journey, the consider phase, the discover phase, the awareness phase, the attention phase. So we know how to drive conversions. If we're in the attention phase for a certain keyword, in that content, we're not going to be trying to sell them on your real estate CRM as an example, right? You're going to be educating them and then driving them down maybe to another article where it's in the awareness phase where, you're educating them that, yes, hey, you do have a problem and then we have a solution. Click this link to go and discover this solution, which would be the point where they discover that you offer a solution to their problem. And so on and so forth. Obviously, if they're like in the consider phase, you would be creating content that at that point would be designed to sell them why you're better than your competitors. But what we do is we map out the buyer intent journey. And then what someone does is they look at the first result content type. So it could be, again, I showed you Amazon product page, blog category, blog post. You do this all the way down and you document the first type, right? Then you go to the second result in Google. Do the same thing. Look at the types of content. And then the third result in Google. Look at this type of content ranking. And then what it does is it gives you the average type of content. And so you just do that. You bang it out. You segment that task. You go through all of the page URLs that you know need update on page, and you get a clear understanding of which type of content is ranking more so than others on Google. And then what you do is, now that you've mapped out the buyer journey and you've mapped out the type of content, you do research and you find all the secondary keywords that aren't included on your content, but are included on the other top results content. And of course, you have to put an emphasis on the theme of the content. So in the example I just gave you, it would be the template, right? And you would know, you could put an asterisk or a star beside it. You know there's a template. So after you've done all this research, when it's actually time to update your on page and implement all of your research that you've done, you can go here and you can understand better what type of content you're ranking and what the theme of the content is. And then at that point, it's just a matter of updating your content. And if you do this across the board for all your page URLs, you are going to see a boost in rankings, which is going to drive more revenue for your business online. Yes, it's a very time-intensive process, but this is absolutely crucial, and nothing that's worth anything is going to come easy. But by staying organized and utilizing the website quality audit first and segmenting all your page URLs and determining, okay, of the 5,000 pieces of content that we've had created over the last 5 years, these 500 or 1,000 pieces of content need their on-page updated. When you segment it like that and you treat it as such and you stay organized, you can move mountains with your content marketing and your SEO. And what's great about this is when you're adhering to the buyer intent funnel and you're also adhering to the common types and common themes of content that are ranking at the top, not only are you able to improve behavior metrics and performance metrics, which is going to drive more revenue because you're going to be keeping people on that page longer and actually giving them what they want. You're solving the searcher's intent, which is going to facilitate driving them down the buyer intent funnel, but you're also going to be giving Google exactly what they're looking for. And Google's algorithm is going to look at your content and they're going to favor your content over the website that has a DR of 80 when you only have, like, for instance, a DR of 24 as an example. Now, when you have a powerful website and you adhere to this, you're going to absolutely dominate the search engines. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I know it was a little bit longer than I hoped. If you guys want us to populate your website quality audit, we'd be happy to do that. And you can do this yourself, determine which page URLs you want updated on page, and then you can go ahead and transfer that data over to this if you would like. Feel free to hit me up. And that is how you get strategic with your SEO and content marketing combined if you're a SaaS company. Stop creating content that Google hates and create content they want to rank.